This is oyintofeoduyingbo, and today I have with me Lolu. Yes, this is my sister. I invited her here today so that we can talk about something new. The movie we are going to be talking about is what?
Glamour Girls.
Yes, so it's a group of women that are in the what do we call their line of work? Hookup, sex work and everything like that. Yes, they run into trouble at a certain point and all that. We're going to start off nice. So what did you like about it?
I would say costume.
Okay.
I really love the costume. I loved how hookup girls now, girls now, just trying to go up the ladder, like become big babes in the industry, right? And then the costumes, they were fitting for that role, for those scenes rather. So I would say the costume, yes. I loved how all of them dressed. They were appropriate. They were like, you wouldn't see someone's dressing and say, why?
Right.
You have money and you're dressing like this, or you don't have money and you're dressing like. I think everything was good in that aspect.
They didn't look like Ron's babe, but like they look classy. You will not even be able to tell like, okay, they were Ron's babes. Like one of the things I like were like they chose the right people for the cast. I love the fact that Sharon Oja killed her role. She acted it out very well. Like, bro, she was, I don't know how to explain it. She was okay. She went from someone that she was a hustler, like, to being like, she, even with the way she was roused, she was still acting like, a posh babe, like somebody that has actually leveled up. Like, she hasn't forgotten like the way she was before the money. She didn't really change, but like you see that she improved in like who she was and everything else. Even talking Makinwa, like I don't know why a lot of people were like saying that her acting wasn't good in this movie. I don't know, how was it for you?
See, I'm not even into like, when I saw Turkey, I was like, hey God, seeing her in this movie, I had no expectations. But watching her, I think she surpassed. She surpassed people. I can probably speak for a lot of people. She surpassed their expectation. Like, she acted it well.
Funny enough, maybe a lot of people were still saying
maybe she had more lines in this movie. She had more scenes in this movie compared to the other, but she did well. Also, to buttress like on Sharon Oja's role, I like the part where she leveled up, right? It wasn't a drastic change. Like, it was 6 months.
It wasn't drastic.
She was speaking
like
perfect
English.
You could even see in a scene where I think she was trying to say she's a big girl or something, and then she switched to PG and then later like she forgot that she's now a two like, she now switched back to English. And also I also like the fact that they incorporated the that she did a course for like 2 months or something like. So you can see that she was actually exposed to learn and all of that, instead of just switching up.
You see some other Nigerian
2 months later,
she's already speaking Queen's English. She's already acting like what I don't know. So like I feel like
I really like
the progress with her character was gradual, but it was also really good. Really like for me, funny enough, you said that like you've seen a lot of people talking about like Toke's acting was on point. A lot of people, I don't know, maybe it was on my own Twitter, a lot of people were like, Toke has come again, she's not acting well. For me, I feel like the role fits her perfectly. Like, they had different stories, and that was my favorite thing about it. And the fact that although they were once babe, although they were shells, they were sex workers, they still had something going on for them aside that business. Like
something, at least somebody asks you,
you will not say you're on a show. They had a front, and I felt like that was very realistic. Like that happens in the present world. A lot of people you've seen, and they'll be saying that this baby's on a show. It can't be this her business that is bringing her money and things like that.
I'm not there.
But that's what a lot of people say, and I feel like it actually portrayed it that way. Like for instance, what is her name? Emma Emanuela, she was working as an assistant manager at the bank. Louisa was working, that's Toke Makinwa. Louisa was working as she had her boutique, she had her fashion thing going on for her. Donna, the madam, had her interior decoration business or whatever it was. Like, who else was there? Everybody had something else going on for them. So I feel like that was a nice thought. That was a nice story, because some other movies that you watch this kind of like that had almost this type of storyline.
That's their major business.
That's the major business. They don't show their life outside that business. You can't do that work forever. You can't. I don't think somebody can, because I feel like it has to do with your assets and everything. Eventually, things will scatter. Things will not remain. things will not remain. Things will not remain in their original shape and form. So you have to.
Okay, anyway, Sha, that's probably your opinion, but I do even think some people do it to be like. So,
well, true, Sha.
But I like
the fact that they were innovative women. Like,
exactly,
that was not their only source of income. Yeah, they had other stuff going on for them. Things we didn't like about the movie. So what didn't you like about it?
The first thing I noticed was, I think in the middle of the movie, there were just scenes that I did not understand.
Yeah,
it was almost like the movie was 2 hours and some minutes long.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just decided, okay, cut this one, just cut this one, just cut
like
it. Like
TikTok vibes.
Just put it
basically
inside.
Just give you guys like an overview. They're not really telling you what is causing this.
Exactly. You do not understand
so many things.
Toke Makiwan, I can't remember their names. Toke Makiwan and her husband's relationship. Like, why was she the one sending money to him?
Yeah.
Why? Like, it was just I really did not understand that.
Yeah.
Like, I did
and then also concerning her past, like, we saw her as first. We didn't even know if whether it was her husband or her boyfriend at first, and then later on they just brought that she had children and things like. They didn't even. I feel like things like that you hint at it from the beginning. Like, there were unnecessary scenes that they would have removed and put with scenes that would have made the movie correlate. Like, for a lot of people that were talking, like on Twitter, even for me, for a lot of people that were talking moving on, for a lot of people that were talking on Twitter, and even for me, they moved from Sharon Oja being like the heroine of the movie, being the, I think it's protagonist they call it, of the movie, to being the main character. They moved from her being the main character to there being a lot of main characters. She was kind of, it's not because of her acting, she was kind of like lost in the storyline. For me, that's what I think.
That could have been the plot. I don't, still your opinion, but that could have been the plot, like having many other people in as like major characters. I don't know if that's what it's called, but yeah, I don't have a problem with that. But like I said before, the parts where there were just different scenes and it was almost like less than 10
seconds, 30 seconds,
like,
it was just,
there was no explanation, there was nothing,
like,
nothing
would have loved to,
there were just different scenes jumbled up together.
Would have loved to see, like, okay, what, for me, I would have loved to see what made hell that way. Like, obviously some of these people that are in this line of work, they obviously would meddle in substance abuse and things like that, but there's usually something that makes them turn out that way.
Funny thing is that I think there was a scene where she said she did not need the money because her family had money.
Yeah, so was it
that she was a nymph, or was it that she wanted the money because of drugs, or she just wanted freedom?
Do you get? They were hinting at that there was
exactly was it?
Yeah, they were hinting that there was a story behind that, but they didn't want to tell us the story. It's just, there are some movies where, okay, you're left to use your imagination to imagine what had happened. But I feel like there were just so many stories going on at that point, and I'm like,
the gaps ourselves, like, maybe
I couldn't even fill in the gaps, to be honest. For some things I couldn't fill in the gaps, like her own story, I couldn't fill in the gaps for that. Then another one that I felt like they just, I don't know, maybe they cut off the parts that would explain that to us, was when Alex died. Like, when he died, I felt like, okay, we kind of knew what happened. When Donna came to, take care of everything, Alex was on the bed. Her child was on the floor with her. Do you get on the floor? We saw like everywhere on the floor scattered and everything. But the way he was on the bed, it looked as if he was sleeping. it didn't look as if anything had happened. I felt like they should have shown us like what transpired before he died. Like, how did he die? What happened?
If I've just been somewhere where they were struggling between themselves and
Self-
she got something and she hit
him. Do you
or
get
something, but
I felt like it was very flat. And talking about cleaning up after he died, do you like that one? I was like, what's going on? Okay, so the story was Donna brought in chairs as per decor. They were.
They put him inside the chair.
How did they carry him outside? Did they say, oh, they did not want the chair anymore?
Something like that.
Or what? Like, how? I did not even understand. How did they carry the chair? I felt like that place was too vague. Alex's death was too vague. They should have expanded more. Like, they should have explained more what happened. What happened between Donna and Jenna and Gemma? What happened between both of them? Because it seemed like they had history going back. Like, something obviously happened for.
No, go on. This is the part like
something obviously happened for them to separate. We get the gist. Gemma didn't want to be in that line of business anymore. But do you know that you do not necessarily have to be in that line of business to still be friends with somebody that you were that close to? So for me, there's a story behind why they weren't friends anymore, because it looked as if they were finding each other disgusting at that point. Like when she came to ask for money, the way Donna was looking at her, the way Gemma was talking to her, it seemed like there was beef in the room. Like there was something that they wanted to get out of their chest, despite the fact that there was no story behind that.
I think it was more like she looking at her. This is still me filling in the gaps because there was no explanation. But I think Donna is the owner of the business. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, Donna was. It was, to me, it was more like she was looking at her mockingly, like, "Oh, you are back here."
Yeah.
So it was like she left, like she got married and whatnot. Also, this number one rule, I don't understand. So Donna said when she was talking to the chief guy at the beginning that she broke the number one rule, and it was almost like number one rule was getting married or falling in love with someone. The chief even mentioned later in the movie. Then also later in the movie, what's her name? Sharon Oja, her character, I can't remember, mentioned that number one rule is looking after yourself. So which one is the number one rule? Are they two number ones?
No, I feel like the number one rule applies differently to both of them. This is me speculating, which we are not supposed to be speculating.
Business, there's
one number one rule. So maybe there's number one rule for the owner, and there's number one rule for the people that
pick your own number one.
Pick your own number one rule. The one that applies
picked her number one rule.
So like, I feel like
actually, she picked the two rules, the two number ones. She fell in love, and then she chose herself.
So Trisha. So I feel like that's so. I feel like that's something that they should have explained. Another thing that I was just even confused about, like, there are so many things though. But another one was where at the end when they said the money, bear in mind Donna doesn't know the hacker. She was even angry that the bodyguard brought a hacker to do that thing, and they said the money was $21 billion. But what the chiefs carried were 15 billion dollars. They were just two flashes in the room. You know, remember that Donna asked, why is there another flash? He said that that's where the password is acting from. There were just two flashes. And then, the first flash did not have anything inside. The second flash, I didn't even understand how the money split. Not even how the money was split. I don't understand how, you know, the flash moved from Zeribe to it moved from Zeribe to Emma. Then Emma, I did not understand that part. How Emma put it back. They were trying to show us, but I did not see it. Then after that one, after everything, Donna now had flash in her wig. From where? How did the money split? Like, I don't understand.
You know what? This one, if we try to understand it.
No, you see, the other ones
let's not turn to this thing. Let's just not
understand it, because the
But
other
we
ones
don't
understand it. That was
what
what
you're telling me.
the other ones, at least we can fill in the gap for the other ones, but for this one we cannot fill in the gap, so we are asking people to help us help us and fill in the gap. And another one we forgot is Louisa's shop. Lulu, her shop. We know something was going down inside her place, but he opened the door. He opened the door and he saw something he was shocked to see. Don't you think that we are watching want to see that thing that he saw, to let us be shocked together? Would have loved to see it too, but I don't know why they didn't show us. Like, we don't know why.
One thing I didn't like is the would I say not the extras, but like people that were not major characters. Take for instance, what's her name? Emma's siblings.
Yes, that scene was so rushed.
I was just like
it was so rushed.
To add that, just being somebody calling her, something, but it was almost like I don't know.
Auntie, next thing.
It was literally like they read from the script. They were not just holding it, but it was just
and it was rushed. And another character I didn't understand why he was there. Why we need a backstory is because Donna's husband. There's obviously a story there. Like, you can see that he loves her. Something happened. Like, what happened? Did he cheat? Did she marry him for this thing? Did she marry him for the time? Like, why did she marry him? I was even thinking maybe he's a sneaky link or something. But apparently he's her husband, and that's what she was using to test her business.
It was just to have it like documented that she's married, or maybe something.
No, I don't think so. I feel like there was a story there.
That you have to. Yeah, there has to be.
Like when they were doing the anniversary
filling the gaps.
I can't fill in the gap again. I'm tired. So I've exhausted my imaginative skills. So I feel like that was another character that was not needed, to be honest. So now we're moving on to things we wish we saw.
I think very touched on it. I feel like there should have been explanations, or not explanation, but there should have somehow buttressed some scenes, like added some things.
Yeah.
But I know it was already like 2 hours long, so I cannot even say that. But still, like, maybe they would have taken out some things that did not need to be in the movie, just so that we could have like background stories of certain things, like just to understand, because all these gaps we are filling.
It's not supposed to.
We're not write scripts.
We're not even supposed to do that.
Like, no,
for like a really good movie.
It's a lot for almost every character.
I don't think. For every character we need to use our And I feel like what they would have done is, if they saw that the movie was too long, they would have done something like what they did in like Blood Sisters or The Money Woman, where they made it a limited series, like 7. You've not seen it? No. They made it Blood Sisters. You've not seen Blood Sisters? Wow. Like, they would have made it like 7 episodes or 8 episodes, a limited series. It doesn't have to be very long. And then they would have explained to, like, each person, since they wanted to have multiple main characters, each person would have been able to explore and explain what happened, to like make them, basically to tell a story for them and everything. And then another thing is the music. I didn't understand. You're my honey, sugar.
I was watching it on my phone, so I had to like, am I playing something somewhere?
That's what somebody else said too. That they thought the song was playing somewhere else. Like, the music wasn't. It wasn't good at all. I feel like the person that chose the songs for this movie did not even try. Okay, some of the songs were actually good, but that part, it was just...
It overshadowed the rest, because I don't remember any
other song. I can't just remember that part. So that is the end. But before we go, we'd like to rate this one. What will you rate this?
I think I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a
7
6.
because
For me, I would recommend the movie, but it's not like it's a very good movie. Like, if you're not busy and you don't have anything to watch, I would say you should watch this movie, because it's not a bad movie. It's a nice one, and it has a different storyline from other like Nigerian movies, and I'll give them a thumbs up for that. But I'll give it a 6.5. Or let me just say I'll give it a 7 as well. So we've come to the end of this video. If you have watched till this point, I would like to say thank you for watching. Clap for my guest. She tried. I would like to know what you guys think about it. If you've watched it before, I'd like to know what you think about it. Did you like it? Did you see what we saw, or you saw something different? I'd actually like to see what your opinion is about this movie in the comment section down below. So kindly drop it, interact, share, like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 4,000 watch hours. We need that money. I need to make money. So thank you guys for watching so much. I love you guys. See you in the next one. Bye.